Hey everyone, Donnie here. When we come back to my channel, I have the Mjx. This is the Bugs 20 EIS right after this. Hey, welcome back everyone to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing, hitting that notification button so you can see what's coming up new on Big Drone Flyer 77 RC. I review a lot of toy grade stuff, RC cars, drones. As you can see, today I have the Mjx. This is a Bugs 20. This is an EIS. So this one's pretty cool, guys, because I've seen some videos on it, and that stabilization that they built into the software on this is just awesome. So I can't wait to take this for a flight. Today is just the unboxing and how to set it up and get it ready for your first flight. So that's why I say definitely subscribe and hit the notifications to the channel so you can see the flight that's going to come up next. To get started on this, guys, I went ahead and put the propellers on. They're not difficult, but they're not labeled. Okay, there's no A on the drone as far as I could see. I know my sight's getting a little bad, but I didn't see no A on there. But they do reference it here in the manual, so that's why I always say go over the manual, read the manual. So it'd be on page 10 if you get this. It tells you which side is the front, so you could put the A, you know, and the B propellers on. But the trick on this one here, the only downfall is if you want to use the carrying case that it comes with, you have to take these off every time. And they're not super easy. It is for me, but they don't give you any extra screws. So if you lose these little propeller screws or this cap, then you're gonna have to try to order some more. I don't even know where you would get those right now. So I'm just warning you guys. It's two Phillips screws, which they give you a Phillips screwdriver. They screw down here on each side. They turn clockwise on all of them. So whenever you go to tighten it up, and then you just put this little cap back on. So the bad thing is you have to take these off every time you want to go and put it back in your bag. So I'll just show you real quick here. I'm going to loosen them up. It's not that hard. It's a little time consuming if you want to hurry up and go. So I left the screws in there. So I just set the screws in there so I have them ready, if you can see that. And then you just line it up with the two little screw holes, and then you just tighten it down. So I just wanted to show you that. So like I said, it's a little time consuming if you want to hurry up and go. You can always just set it in your vehicle, but if you're hiking or traveling on bicycle and you're using the backpack or the little pack thing, then you're gonna have to take them off every time to put it back in there. So alright, just want to get that out of the way, make that clear, because I haven't seen anybody talk about that. I didn't even know about it, so there you go. They do give you a set of 4 extra propellers. Let me see, maybe they have extra screws in here. They might have, okay, they do have an extra set. I apologize. Yeah, there's an extra set in this. I didn't see it on the other side. It was folded up like this. So they do give you an extra set of these caps, and they give you a set of, whether we got 8 Phillips screws in there. So that's good. All right, so you do have those. I apologize. I just opened this thing up, so I'm seeing it for the first time with you guys. So, okay, so we got the owner's manual I was showing you here. It's going to have all your startup guide. What's cool is they actually have another startup guide for quick start. So that way you can get right in here, download the app, and it tells you what all the functions are for the controller. It's got your QR code, so you can go and scan that on your Android or iOS. So this one is MRC Pro, which I've used this app for other products before, so it's not too bad of an app, guys. We'll have to test it out in the field. So there's that. Of course, Bugs like to give you stickers, Mjx does, so that's cool to add that to the collection again. Alright, so we have our charger, which is just, this one is looks like a C charger. So you got a USB-C here. So it's probably going to take a long time to charge this battery. Haven't charged it yet. I don't even know where it's at. Let me check it right now. Let's see if it, okay, it doesn't do a, I'd have to hold it and start it. So should be at least 50% or so. Let me pull this battery out. before I do start it up and show you guys how to get this going. So we're going to take a look at the battery. Here's the charge port here. So I'm sure it's going to take quite a while for this to charge, you guys, and I'll leave a little thing right here to show you what the time is for charging after I get this thing charged. So it's 7.6 volt, and this one is 3400 milliamps. So supposed to be about 20 minutes of flight, so hopefully it does. I only have one battery for this one, and pretty simple. Just look for the little electronics here, the little prongs here, slide it in, make sure it snaps, you guys. They did put some tape on here, protective tape, so I'm going to peel that off. Let's get that off of there. There's one on the front here. Get that one off. There isn't one on the camera. If there was, it might have fell off. What's cool about this one is it actually has floodlights on it as well. If you guys watch my videos, I reviewed another company that's got one similar to this, which was an awesome drone as well. So there's the floodlights. It does have optical flow camera, so that makes it nice. This is 5G, you guys, so it's a 4K camera, and it is a 5G Wi-Fi network, guys. So I believe you have to have the, I think it's the 802.11 AC, I believe. I'll have to look it up, but that's the Wi-Fi. You're going to at least have to have 5G Wi-Fi. I'm going to be using the iPhone 7 Plus, which I'm filming with right now, so I can't show you that right this second, but that's the one I'm going to be using. If you have iOS, you can use iOS 5S is the phone. 5S and newer will have 5G, so you'll be good to go if you have one of those phones. Androids I don't know as much about, so I'm sure it'd have to be like Galaxy, one of the newer Galaxies and stuff like that. You can look it up on the internet, you guys. Just Google it. Alright, so let's take a look at the controller. Alright, let's see, there's the on switch there. It does have one single antenna, so there's the wire running through, so be careful with this antenna. They are real, except for this one doesn't have nothing in it. So that's the on and off switch. Once it binds, you'll be able to see what the drone battery's at. Okay, so you got your distance, height, you got your GPS. You'll say on or off right here on the side. It's off. You want to make sure your switch is turned on. So now it says on GPS right there, guys. So if you turn it down, that's going to be altitude hold only. So make sure you have it on. That way when you go and calibrate the GPS compasses, you'll be able to have the GPS on, so it'll return to home and do those functions. So you got your camera button here. One short press takes a picture. One long press will start the video. Make sure you long press it again for a few seconds to stop that video before you shut off the drone, or you will corrupt the video and there will be nothing on the SD card. I recommend using a class 10 SD card. I like to use size 32 gigabytes all the way up to about, I use about 64. I don't go any higher than that. I believe you can go a little bit higher on this one, but 64 is plenty enough, you guys, for filming. I do like to run like a higher speed, like a V, like a U3 is sometimes, you know, it just kind of depends on what the frames per second is, guys. So, you know, if it's a higher frames per second, I like to run a little bit better card in there, but I use like a Sandisk. So anyways, this will fold out here. All right, you do have to supply the batteries, which is 2 AA. So I always put good batteries in there. I put a couple Duracell in there. So you want to run some good AA batteries. And then I wanted to show you too, here's your unlock button here. I'll show you that in just a minute. One press will unlock the motors, and then you can hit the 1 key takeoff, 1 key land. Okay, so 1 key takeoff, but you have to hit this one time to get the motors to unlock. Okay, and then you can go and hit that and it'll take off. You got your return to home right here for the GPS. You press that and it'll return it to home. You got a couple speeds. If you hold it down, okay, just switch to low speed here. There's low speed. If I hold this button down again for a few seconds, okay, just turn it to high speed now. So now you got high speed. I got this film on here because I'm touching this and I don't want to get my fingerprints all over it. Now one short press right here will turn the floodlight on, and then press it again will shut the floodlight off. With this one, I don't know. I'll see when I start it up. Usually it won't work. The floodlight won't work until you get this thing up in the air, but I'll check it out before I get off of here. So you got your camera adjustment here to go up and down with the gimbal. I'll show you that in a second. It does have one axis gimbal, and then you know, it's got little shock absorber rubber pieces here to kind of absorb that shock. Hopefully it gets that jello out, but now having the EIS, you know, you have the electric image stabilization built into this, you guys, so that's going to help tremendously, especially the ones in some of the videos I've seen. It looks really nice, so I can't wait to take that up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Usually I like to take the the propellers off, but I'm going to leave them on for right now because I'm not going to start it up. I've been doing this for a long time and I am staying away from it. So I suggest to take the propellers off if you're going to go and test, you know, to make sure the motors run, things like that. So matter of fact, I'll just take them off now and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and took off the propellers. That's a smart thing to do. I was talking about safety and here I was leaving them on. I just went ahead and took them off. Better to be safe than sorry, especially when I'm going to start this thing up, okay? So I want to talk about the camera real quick before I go and fire this up. The camera here is a 4K camera. So in the app you can actually set it to 4K, which the default will be at 4K, 30 frames per second. And if you're like me, I film a lot in 1080p just due because of my editor. I don't have a PC yet, so this will actually film in 1080p 60 frames per second, which is pretty awesome, you guys. It does have the memory card slot here for the SD card, and for this one, like I was saying, it takes a class 10 SD card, and you can actually run all the way up to 128 gigabytes in this one. That's a pretty big card, so that's actually pretty awesome. So I, you know, suggest to use 32 to 64. That's what I use. So that is actually pretty cool on that. Another thing is I'm not going to be able to go in the app because I'm filming with the phone right now, so that will be out in the field. You guys can look forward to that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the controller. If you're someone that uses mode 1, and this automatically comes in mode 2, at least here in the US, you can actually hold down this lock button, turn on the controller, and you should be able to switch the mode to mode 1. I could fly either mode because I practiced doing that for so long but I use mostly mode 2. That's what I first flew on. So let's go ahead and turn this on. All right, set this down. I almost forgot to show you, you do have for your phone holder, and it actually flips forward, so that way it clears these antennas. You can put these antennas back and it will clear them. This little thing flap comes down and it will hold your phone. It holds my big old phone, so that does work pretty good. Let's go ahead and set that down. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the drone, which is back here. You just hold it down till you hear that noise. Okay, it says I have 75% on the battery back here. You can see that only 3 lights are lit up, and there's 4 lights there. That sound of that beep right there, you heard the 2 beeps, means it's ready to calibrate the GPS. I call this a snowflake right here, but it's actually a directional panel. So when that's flashing and you heard those 2 beeps, that means the controller and drone bound, and it's setting up for the GPS calibration of the compasses, okay? What I was going to say too is you're going to have to go and calibrate this every time you shut it off to switch the battery. So it's pretty quick, guys, pretty simple. So it's ready now. We're going to do the first initial one. I'm going to go about 3 times counterclockwise while holding it flat like this. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Got to put the camera up. We're going to go counterclockwise again. See how the lights are still flashing there? They're flashing all green now. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Now we got solid red, and then we got solid green on the bottom. So it is now calibrated, you guys. Got the compass calibrated for the GPS. That will be ready to go. Our next step is to do gyro calibration, which I may have to shut off my light for a second so you can actually see. Oh, I could probably put my hand right here. So what you're going to do is go to the bottom left-hand corners. Okay, it's flashing. See that? Real quick, rapid flash. Now it went back to, there we go. Now it went back to red again. So now we're letting the drone know that it is on a flat, level surface. So that way it'll be ready to go. Now all we'd have to do is wait for satellites, which is pretty crazy. I'm in an apartment and I'm surrounded by metal, and look, I got 11 satellites, guys. That's pretty good for being indoors. So this thing would be ready to go. All I'd have to do is hook up to the app and I'd be flying. So that will be in another video, you guys. So look forward to that. Definitely, like I said, definitely hit that subscription button, hit the notifications so you can see when the flight comes up next, guys. Hit that bell so that way you guys know when this flight comes out and you can see my test flight. Tomtop, I appreciate you guys sending this out. Guys, I'll leave a link down in the descriptions below. Click on that link, find out more information about this drone. Yeah, Tomtop, guys, check them out. Click that link. The price is pretty good. You know, it's pretty reasonable, especially for all the technology you get in this and how smooth the video is. It's awesome, guys. So, all right, I appreciate you watching. You guys be safe out there. Like always, God bless, cheers, and happy flying.